Hey, this really doesn't have an intro, other than the fact that I got my wisdom tooth taken out, so I can't talk much, but I have thoughts that I want to say. So today is a lonely Friday, as my boyfriend left, so I have no one to come home to. I didn't make any plans with my friends for a Friday night, nor my family. And this makes something to do with my wisdom tooth, but I also like being alone. And I decided to stalk one of my old friends on a social media app. And I don't know, I just kind of want to do a recap of like my mental state in my kind of first year post grad, right? Because now it's almost been like a full calendar year, and I'm super happy and super confident with who I am. I'm so lucky. And while my other friends might not have been post grad for the same amount of time that I have been, I look at them and what they're doing, and all I can feel is such pride for the way that I turned out in comparison to the group of people that I had surrounded myself with. I think that it can be so easy to compare oneself to all of the people that they see on social media and all the different social media platforms that exist, and like the ways that those people conduct their lives, and you compare yourself to them. And I'm definitely one of those people, because I have such a desire to do great things and to do what I want to do, and just I believe that I have the capacity to do everything that I want to do. So when I see so many things that I desire, I feel the need to do all of them without thinking about why I want it, how I could achieve it, or what if it would actually bring me joy. So conversely, anyways, put that aside. Back to my point, I see all of these people that I know from my group who made choices, and their outcomes are not what I want. And I'm so proud of how I lived my life and how authentically I lived it, to be so true to myself and knowing exactly what I wanted to do, that I reached a point where I'm so happy with my life. For example, all of the people that I knew in my group post-grad, like in my kind of circle of people, left their bachelor's degrees feeling that they had to know what they were going to do next. They needed to see their trajectory. And so either they were applying to master's programs or thinking about doing a gap year with doing a master's programs afterwards. And the whole trajectory was, at some point, there was a master's in the picture. And for me, while I would say to everyone, like, oh, maybe I'll do a master's, my first thought was always like, okay, I want to work. And that in Europe is not the status quo, for two reasons. One, there's just a larger push for academia in the process of doing a master's. And two, there is no pressure to do work experience in your bachelor's degree that would give you any reason to be hired post having a bachelor's degree. Conversely, in the US, you are taught that there is societal pressure to have a lot of internships and a lot of work experience before leaving your bachelor's degree. That way, when you do leave, you are a person that is ready to be hired and to work in the workplace because you have some amount of experience. It's not like this in Europe, and I did not have any work experience other than like being in high school and working at a store going into the job market post bachelor's degree. And for a really long time, during my post-grad, I just felt like in such immense shame for feeling like I had gone against my nature, my American nature of how things work, in pursuit of this European academic way of life. And I struggled with this so much, and I resented myself for these decisions and every choice I had made so much. And it culminated to at some point where I was talking with my mom after like 8 months of kind of just really not knowing what I was doing in post-grad and being like, I don't think I'll ever find a job. Like, I can't imagine getting a job. I don't know what to do. I don't know what do you think that I should do? And she was like, well, you should definitely get a job. Because at that point I was trying to do some sort of like creative pursuits. Like, I wanted to do research for a think tank, but to do research for a think tank, you do have to be associated with the university, and you do have to like kind of fully go into academia. And it's not like your job is not to be a researcher for a think tank. Your job is to be in academia, and think tanks help you do that, right? And that's globally how it works. I was 40 to test that, but whatever. Yeah, I was kind of just struggling figuring out what I want, and I was like, what do I do? And she was like, okay, I'm gonna help you, and we're gonna find jobs together. And I just went on a mass streak of applying to random jobs. I was applying to shit on Craigslist. Like, I was so down bad. I needed anything. And at some point, I got a call. And they were like, hey, come here. And I was like, okay, I'm coming. And I went to an interview, and I got a job. And that was freaking awesome. And honestly, for a long time, when I had first kind of when I had first had that job, I had a really hard time adjusting to kind of the situation that I was in, because I felt that the company that I was working for wasn't prestigious compared to maybe my other counterparts that I was around, or I just felt really inferior in a lot of senses, because I was inferior in a lot of senses. And I think with time being at that company, I have really come into my own. I really feel pride in the company that I work for, and I have so many visions for what I can do at that company, how this experience can help me in the future, kind of politically, economically, and just in so many ways. Like, okay, separate note, I believe that I'm a person that can change the world. I believe that everything that I think is the right way to do it, and I have a personal manifesto of things that I believe that should happen in the world. And I think that the experience that I've had assists me a lot in actually manifesting all of these theoretical concepts that I have that I know are correct, and I see the actual like implications of these things in practice in my job, and I think, oh my god, like if this was applied on mass scale, what could happen? The world, I just want to see it happen. I just know it'll make the world a better place. Okay, back to the thing. The reason I mention this is because I feel like my joy and my pride and all these things are happening kind of quietly. I definitely think people at my work can see it, which I hope they can, and I hope it's all like very visible, because I don't really care if my friends see it. Whatever, it'll come through me. But for example, a few weeks ago, I was having dinner with a friend, and we're not particularly close, but sorry, I might be talking too much for this thing. She was like, oh, like this university that I'm having helped me like find a job, I'll send it to you. And I was like, okay, sweet, like I'll get any information you're sending out, but I have a job, you know? And I think because among all of the people that I know, I am maybe one of the only one who has like a real job at our age. I don't think people really understand the full capacity of what I have, you know? The reason I say this after all is because the ex-friend that I was stalking is having their first like actual work experience in this moment that I've discovered from my stalking experiences. And this is wild to me because I'm 22, obviously, and I'm working at a company that I believe I have a future at. and that has changed my worldview in the way that I believe that I can change the world in the future. And it's just helping me develop, it's two things, like it's helping me develop a lot of skills. I have, like, it's just so many things. Like, I just love the company that I work for, and I love the situation that I'm in and the one that I put myself in, and I'm so thankful for all the people that have given me a chance to prove myself and develop my skills, and blah 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 blah. I could go on for days about how grateful I am. But all of that to say, I see people of my similar circle who are my age, and like their first work experience might be at the age of 25 at the earliest. And while no judgment to that, everyone has their own path, I'm so happy with mine. I'm so happy that everything in my life worked out, you know? And I almost feel like it's unfair how everything worked out, and because I feel like I of course put in the work always. I'm not someone who slacks or anything like that, and I would never want to put that out there and I never make any jokes like that, like, oh, I'm so like I am a hard worker to my core, like that is, and I'm a try hard, and things don't come easy to me, and I have to work hard to achieve things in life. However, I do think I cannot not acknowledge the fact that I have it easier, and I do feel divinely protected in a lot of ways, and I feel that a lot of things that happen to me are more fortunate than I deserve. Like, I might work hard, but the value I get is more than the amount that I worked. And I chalk this up to being divinely protected, because I do believe that I am. I'm extremely lucky, and yeah, I'm also pretty, so unfortunately I can't be humble in that sense. I know that I have pretty privilege. Why? Because I get objectified every day of my life. So I guess the double-sided coin. Anyways, I'm gonna go put an ice pack on my face and post this on YouTube unedited, because this is unedited nonsense, your form of long-form brain rot. Bye. That was so cringe.